You're on pace for about 60 goals right now, and I know that might be a little bit much, but it doesn't look like the knee's affecting you at all, is it, though?
No, it's not at all. I tweaked it a bit in New York, and I think I worked hard this summer. Don't get me wrong. I've worked the hardest I ever have in my life, and just at Rangers camp, with the amount of running and bag skating, and you're basically working and running at the hardest you can for 3 hours a day, and I just it never really got pushed to that limit. So I think that might have weakened it a bit. And my knee brace that I had from before, they told me after that I tweaked it. They looked at it and they said, yeah, it was broken and it was useless. So they set me up with a new knee brace, and it's a little bigger. It's a little stiff, but I'm used to it. It has zero effect to my game, and but when you're playing, you don't even think of it. The game's just in your head. So yeah, it doesn't affect me at all.
So when you talk about the World Juniors, as you did a little while ago, there 3 Frontenacs getting to go to the evaluation camp. And when you think about that, the fact that you had Doherty, you had Gudbranson as well. Of course, both Doherty and Gudbranson were back. We weren't sure about that earlier on. Only 2 other teams had that. The Portland Winterhawks, who of course aren't even in your league, and the Windsor Spitfires, only if you include Taylor Hall, which doesn't really count. When you look at that, does the fact that this team has had 3 potential players on Canada's World Junior team, not to mention Grubauer going to Germany's World Junior team, does that mean that this team should very clearly, without question, without needing any bounces to go their way, be a Memorial Cup contender?
Absolutely. There's no reason why we shouldn't finish in, I don't want to put numbers up, but, we're a top team in the East. We should be winning a lot of games, and, when we go to the West, we shouldn't be losing a lot of games. We should be winning a lot of games there. So, we have a great team ahead of us. We have a great mix. We have a lot of older guys. We have some real good young guys that, are ready to play, and that's why they're here. So, we have no liabilities, and in any situation we can put someone out and they're going to do something for us. So we should there's no reason why that isn't a possibility.
There's talk now that the World Junior Camp might end up having up to 40 players because of the number of players being returned that Hockey Canada didn't expect. To that end, because there's obviously going to be a ton of competition for that, what do you need to change? What do you need to focus on in order to make that team this year?
Just continue. I just have to worry about playing my game, and if I do get an invite to that camp, and obviously I want to make it, but I have to worry about what's best for our Kingston team to win, and what I have to do to win, every night to make our team win, and that's just continuing to work hard every shift, back pressure hard, and when I get my opportunities, I have to put it in. So if I continue doing that, I think I should be there.
Let me ask you sort of an off-the-wall thing here. Who's the toughest defenseman in the OHL for you to play against?
Right now, I'm not really sure. If you can't really point out one guy on any other team, so until we kind of could play the league, I can't really put a guy out.
Okay, we saw as well with you a line that it sort of became fairly consistent, sort of a chronological line. You had 24, 25, 26, Farrell, you, and Connor Stokes. But of course, it's been clear so far this year that the lines have been very much flexible. Of course, with dressing 7D, they've been changing it up a lot. Were those 2 guys that you were able to click with early on, or have you enjoyed the ability for them to sort of switch it up? Of course, I've seen Mitch LeBar with you a few times, and they've been very willing to change that up on you.
Yeah, well, I think anyone we have a lot of our guys, a big thing about line combinations and how guys click is how everyone gets along, and how used to someone the guys are, and we have such a tight knit group that we're away from the rink, we're always hanging out with each other, and at the rink we're a real good team. So that's half the battle. Then we're on the ice, we practice with a lot of different guys, but me, Farrell, and Stokes, we had a really good first weekend, and we clicked well. But any guy playing with any guy, a lot of things happen. So it's whoever I'm with, it doesn't, it's a good thing because everyone can play.
All right, so let me ask you sort of a little bit of a tough one here. So don't blame me for this. And by the way, we're speaking with Ethan Werek of the Kingston Frontenacs. This is a quote from Doug Graham, who writes for the Whig Standard. This was an article that he wrote for the Sun Media chain. He does like a monthly junior hockey column. And again, these are Doug Graham's words, not me, so don't get angry at me over this. I'm just going to throw this out and ask you if you agree or disagree. He sort of did a bit of a profile on you, talking about most of your strengths. And everyone knows a great shooter, able to play both ways and all that. But then he said at the end here, as far as one weakness that you have, and this is Doug Graham of Sun Media here, saying, distribution of the puck lacking at times, which can make him a hard player to fit with line mates. Agree or disagree?
I disagree. Yeah, I'm not sure who that is, but I think this year it's been pretty obvious that I've set a lot of guys up, and I have pretty good vision. So I'm not sure where he came up with that, whoever that is.
Yeah, do you find it weird? And this is where I found it kind of weird, but you do have over 60 assists over the past 2 years, so it's obviously not like you're hogging the puck the whole time, because I don't think all of your assists came from shooting and then someone else tapping in a rebound, right?
Yeah, I'm not really sure how you can judge that, make a quote like that, but George, it's I'm not really sure how to respond to it, because I always see myself as kind of a pass first type of guy, but I have a shot where I have to shoot first and go for that rebound, because we have to pepper a lot of shots on net this year to be a successful team in this league. So I'm not really sure how you could put that in there.
Well, to be honest, it wouldn't be the first time the Week Standard said something ridiculous, so no worries there. And again, that wasn't me, so no blaming me on that one. Let me ask you about the big news lately with Tyler Mort getting traded from this team. You guys knew with 8D someone was going to have to go, but of course you'd played with Mort. He came in the same year that you did. Did you know him well, and do you guys wish him well, obviously knowing he's going to get a great opportunity in Barrie?
Absolutely. Tyler's a great guy. He was a great teammate. He lived in my area, so I got to see him a couple times in the summer, and it's sad to see him go, but on the other hand, he's going to get a great opportunity in Barrie. They're a young team, and bringing in an older guy like Tyler, and he's going to do well there. He's a good player. Great guy to have in the room, so he'll do very well in Barrie.
A lot of fans are kind of frustrated sort of with the way that the defense has been done this year, and I'm not to ask you to play coach here or anything, but for example, when fans see a guy like Tyler Mort, who a lot of guys like as sort of a stay-at-home defensive defenseman, shipped away, and yet, for example, Cameron Odom, who plenty of people like, but played what seemed like 4 minutes of that overtime against the Oshawa Generals. If you were to rank the 8 defensemen that were on your team before Tyler Mort were shipped out, Tyler Mort wouldn't have been number 8, would he?
You can't. Morty was never really healthy this year. He's a great player. Odom's a great. He's an OA defenseman. He's tough. He beat up probably one of the toughest guys in the league in Jamie Devane. So, he's a great passer, has a great shot. So, every one of our D brings something to the table, and Morty was just the odd man out. He's a great player himself, but he had some injury trouble here in Kingston, and he never really solidified himself as one of those top 3 defensemen. And it was tough for him because right when he kind of got the ball rolling, he tweaked. I think he had some shoulder problems, and he hurt his knee last year too. So he had a little tough go with injuries, but hopefully now that he's in Barrie, he can get that injury bug away from him and get playing. And I know all of us wish him the best, because we loved having him in the room, and he was a great teammate.
No, absolutely. And one more slightly tough one, but with that big comeback against Plymouth, that could stand up as one of the hallmark moments of this team if you guys do go on to meet the potential that everyone knows you're capable of. The problem was that game against Plymouth saw the lowest attendance in the history of the Frontenacs being at the K-Rock Centre. And this has, of course, been an issue for years and years. Last year, attendance went down, even though you guys as a team got substantially better. Do you guys as the players notice that?
Joy, when a couple of times, last year and the year before, when we play against London, it's a full building. You definitely notice it, but it's not. It's an issue, and it's a little disappointing to see, because looking at the OHL, Kingston is probably the best city to play in. It's everyone talks about London and stuff, but driving through London and driving through Kingston, Kingston's a much nicer city. We have an amazing university as here in Queens.
Actually, I went to Queens, and I'm going to have to take issue with that. But go ahead anyway.
But we have a great, amazing rink, brand new rink. Yep. We have a great dressing room. We have everything and more that any OHL team has, and there's no reason why our fans should be sitting at home and watching Cogeco when they can be coming to the game. And we have we're a real good team this year, and again, I don't understand the people of the city why they wouldn't be coming out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And as we move forward with you, Ethan, you got, of course, the Belleville Bulls on Friday, a team that last time time you guys faced them, got out to a big lead, but saw them really start to chip away at it. And it's obvious no game against Belleville, no matter, even when the Bulls weren't very good last year, is going to be an easy one. And then you get the long break, and then the Ottawa 67s on Wednesday, who are, of course, supposed to be the top-tier divisional contender. Are these two games where you guys, after two really wild games that nobody was sure of the outcome, will be looking to make an early statement and make the result not in doubt by maybe even the end of the first period?
We're going to come out and play our game. And, how we played against Oshawa the first two periods, we're going to need to play like that the full, 3 periods. So, again, we had some problems with back pressure and, some defensive positioning. We worked on that in practice this week, and some stuff with the penalty kill. We worked on that today and, throughout the week. So, we had a real good week of practice. We're ready for this game. And then, we have a couple days off, and then we have Ottawa on Wednesday, which will be a big test. But, Belleville, us going to Belleville coming to here, it doesn't matter, what team they're icing. It's always going to be a great game because it's a great rivalry, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Last thing for you, on a personal level, when you get to the end of this year, and I know you don't want to look too far ahead, no matter when that year particularly ends, what has to be the case for you to be able to look back on your 2010-2011 season and say, I accomplished what I set out to do this year?
Well, coming back from New York, and I had some things put in my head, but at the end of the season, if our team competes and goes to a Memorial Cup, that'll definitely be something, and winning a World Junior Gold Medal will be something. So having those two things, and probably hopefully getting a pro contract, and then probably those three things will be probably be a good year if all three happen. So
gold medal, Memorial Cup, 80 to 90 points, pro contract. That wouldn't be too bad of a situation.
So that'd be an all right year. Yeah.
Perfect. Ethan, well, I really appreciate you stopping by, giving me some of your time. Best of luck this weekend against Belleville, and then Ottawa next week as well. We'll hope to talk to you down the road.
All right, sounds good. Thanks a lot.
All right, that's Ethan Werek of the Kingston Frontenacs. It's Offsides on CFRC 1019. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, our summary of Tyler Mort's departure from the Kingston Frontenacs, as well as our Pro Sports Roundtable just around the corner. Tim Cunningham and Nate Sager coming up in just a little bit.